What's up, people, man? You know what angers me the most about looking at that video of Mr. Floyd on the ground with the officer with his knee in his neck? Which you also have to look at body gestures, you know what I'm saying? Your body and your gestures of your body will tell you a lot about how the person is feeling. If they're angry, if they're annoyed, if they're agitated. People do a lot of involuntary things to show you that in their body gestures. And when you have your foot on a man's, your knee on a man's neck, and he's telling you he can't breathe, and the more time he telling you that he can't breathe and he's begging for his life, and in your heart, by hearing that, it makes you feel better that you have that much control over a man's life because his life is in your hands. This man had his hands in his pocket while his knee was on this man's neck. Meaning that I am content with what I'm doing, and I don't plan on taking it off right now. He got comfortable, right? But this is the killing part about it. Why do we rather pull out a phone and record than to step in and intervene on a situation to where you feel a man his life is about to be taken? And I can understand that fear part about it, you know what I'm saying? But when you standing around and you have seen this whole scene, you recorded the whole situation, and seeing no resistance that's justifying this officer's action, I'm upset about all the people that were standing around, if it was black, white, Hispanic, or whichever. I'm upset at them as well. All it took for you to run over there and push the guy off, or something to distract him or make him lift his leg up, maybe that could have saved Mr. Floyd's life. You see what I'm saying? Just anything that let him catch his breath for a minute. But in our subconscious way, we see that wrong is being done, but at the same time, in our mind, it's not worth me risking my life for to save him. I would rather record it and help him after his life has already been taken than for me to intervene and stop that from happening or prevent that from happening. Now, the outcome probably would have been something different from you as well. But it goes back to what I always say. What are you willing to sacrifice to help another? As long as we are not willing to sacrifice anything, we will never get ahead. Every time there is a black leader or someone that's created to help the black community and help us strive and help us see what's right, the ones that are blinded, they eliminated or they're assassinated, which is one and the same. But we don't have anybody that's mentors that's coming up behind that particular leader to fill in the void. When Dr. King left, it's 35 different ways. It's 35 different ways when Mr. King left that things could have been better. Someone could have stepped up. But it's always 30, 40 years down the line before we get another great leader. It's not that we don't have them. We have the ones that are afraid to step up. And the ones that we do have, let me tell you something. Just because you see black doesn't mean black is for you. And every time you see white doesn't mean that white is against you. You understand? We have to understand that a lot of the times when we see these riots and things and so forth, it's because people are fed up. Now, Minnesota is very, very, the population of black to white is big difference. Majority of the people you seeing in these riots and things that's going on, majority of them are white folks. But why does it have to take white people to speak up for blacks in order for what we've been saying for years to be heard? I'm just asking that question. It shouldn't have to be a white person to help to say anything for us to be heard, you know? It's just a strange way. Even if you see it on different websites and different national social media pages, you'll have a black man saying something, he might have 100 views or 100,000 views. But you mount on the other half, you got this white man saying the same thing. And he has 9 million. So that lets me know that it's more that's going to listen to what the white man is saying about the black man than what the black man has been saying for years. Now, there are some good cops. There are some bad cops. Just like there's some good black people and bad ones, and white and Hispanic and Asian and whoever. It's always good and bad. But my thing is, if you are a cop and you see your fellow officer doing something that's not right and you don't say anything, you are just as bad as that cop that's committing that crime. Period. Because you best believe it's a white cop and a black cop riding in the car together. If you go into that white community, which they call them communities, if you go into that white community and there's a crime or something going on, that white cop gonna tell the black cop, hey man, I got it. Just stay in the car, I can handle it. I know that's Dustin's son. But yet, when that white cop goes into the black neighborhood, what they call them, see, there's a difference between a community and neighborhood. You gotta understand that. You see what I'm saying? When he goes into that black neighborhood, he's ready to jump out. That black man ain't gonna say, hey man, I got it. Step back. I know this is Jonathan's son. I can take care of it. No. That white man gonna jump out there and take control. And the black dude gonna sit back and say, oh, that's my lieutenant. I can't say anything. Now he knows what the lieutenant is doing is wrong, but he's not gonna say anything because his job is more important. It's a different type of mindset. You see what I'm saying? We have a lot of these riding people ask the question, well, why would you ride and tear down the things that's in your community and burn them down? I agree with that. But on the other hand of it, you only seeing the physical part of the tear down. These communities and ghettos and everything that's been created by the government, they've been tearing down, being tore down years and years and years. You just didn't see it in the physical. It's been done by politics. It's been done by gentrification. It's being done by redlining. It's being done by racism. Those are the things that you don't see that's tearing it down. So when you see a ride and you see the physical attributes of what's going on, then you can speak on it because you're actually seeing it. You're not understanding what goes on behind the line or behind closed doors or behind the curtain. You see what I'm saying? We have to do better as a people. Now, what happened to this guy and Freddie Gray and Trayvon Martin, all this, and there's a host of other people that lost their life unjustly. But let's take control for ourselves. On the flip side, let's stop killing ourselves. We can't get nobody or no other race to respect us if we don't stop doing things to ourselves. We need to have the same energy when it comes to these cops killing us. We need to have that same energy when Ray Kiapuki in the neighborhood. Get fed up for that as well. Don't just get fed up for one particular thing that you feel like you don't. It's all over. I need you to let us have that same energy when it comes to black on black as well. Then we can see a change. hold our politicians and mayors and so forth and so on, hold them to the fire. You elected these people. Make them do for what they need to do. You can't create a ghetto and put a person in it and then lock them up for adapting to that lifestyle that you created. How could you do that? People in the hood have PTSD as well. You don't have to just go to war out of the country. You at war in your own neighborhood. So I can say I have PTSD from the things I've seen or the things that I may have done. You got to stop letting others control the narrative. You have to take control and you write your own book on your own race or whatever you want them to know about you. Don't let people control your life or your narrative or your history. You create it and you teach it to your own so you know the truth. They've been programming us for years and years and years. But what the shit that they're programming us with is not the correct things. But we have to be smart enough to teach that. You want to know why? And it's going off subject that is not a lot of black males in the household with the family, because the government has said, I'm your father. I'm the father. Remove them and I'm going to take care of you. But our black queens and our white queens and all these other people, they're not seeing that. They're just seeing, what can I get so that I do less of to receive it. It's the easy life. They have been taking men from slave times and just breeding them with another female because he has strong muscles or he has a certain work ethic. So this has been bred into the DNA of black African men. But we have carried it. That's why you have jumping from this household, jumping from that household, jumping from this one. Because part of that is in your DNA. But we can break that. It takes us and making the right decisions in life. All this is very unfortunate. Now, what's going to happen is, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. They have all the evidence they need in the world to actually charge this guy with murder. And I think all the other it's four combined. So the 3 other officers should be held accountable for their actions for not stopping it as well, when they knew what he was doing was illegal. This guy didn't show any resistance. He didn't do anything to actually warrant what happened to him, Mr. Floyd. So what's going to happen is they're going to try to find some type of pre-existing medical something to say, oh, well, he didn't really die because of the knee being on the neck. He died because he had heart disease, or he had a undiagnosed lung issue. And with that, you can get the forensics to say that, and you can get a lesser charge from murder to manslaughter. I'm giving you the facts, man. People are getting fed up, but I need us to get fed up on it across the board, not just when the cops are white. I need us to get fed up when it's us against us. Check out part 2, man.